everyone, it's Alani. Today we are outside the Paramount headquarters of Marukan Vinegar Company, which is known for their world-famous rice vinegar and other delicious products. This company started in Japan in the year 1649, and they opened their American facility here in 1974. Marukan is very involved with our community, especially through the Paramount Education Partnership. They have donated an amazing $245,000 to the PEP College Scholarship Program for our local youth. On this episode of Cooking with the Community, our special guest chef will be Jon Tanklage. He is the president and general manager of Marukan and a longtime member of the PEP Foundation Board of Directors. So let's get into the kitchen and start cooking.
Hi, I'm Jon from Marukan Vinegar, right here in Paramount, and today we're going to be making an ancient grain salad. It's a favorite recipe of mine. I always do it around the holidays for entertaining big groups of people. It's great ancient grain salad, cucumber salad, and uses Marukan vinegar that we make right here in Paramount every step of the way through the process.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and let's get cooking.
All right. I have here, it's very simple, a bag of this 10-minute farro, which they've actually pre-cooked it. I believe it's toasted. Is going to take exactly a quart of stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and empty this bag of farro into the bowl. But what I like to do is just follow the directions and use about half farro and half quinoa. This is like a bouillon paste, and I really like this product. It's got a lot of flavor. Grains are going. Let's give them a little stir. And our farro is coming up to temperature here, so that looks good. Keep it moving around a little bit. Quinoa, we'll get that up to a boil, and then we'll cover it. It's a lot like rice. It cooks like fast rice. So it likes to have the cover on. Helps keep the moisture in the quinoa. So with this recipe, we've got so many great ingredients here. I'll walk you through them. It's mainly an ancient grain and cucumber salad. So we've got cucumber in here. We've got some red onion, red bell pepper. I'm going to incorporate some aromatics, basically our garlic, our ginger. We've got some nuts and some berries. We've got some cranberries, dried cranberries. We've got some chopped cashews, some fresh mint. I always keep a little sugar on hand because we're going to either sweeten or salt that to taste. We talked about the red onion and the pepper. So how I cut this is kind of particularly important to the recipe. I want to make sure that we get everything cut in good ratios. So let's go ahead and peel this cucumber. I'm using an English cucumber because I think it holds up really well in a cucumber salad. Stays nice and firm. You know, it's a little bit firmer, a little bit smaller, and more dense than a regular cucumber. We're going to leave these, a little bit larger pieces, but we are still doing a fine dice because I think you want a pretty small dice to be able to get multiple ingredients in your mouth at the same time and be able to get the maximum amount of flavor. What I like to do when I dice the cucumbers for this recipe is de-gel them just a little bit. So I'll cut them in quarters first and then take some of that gel out so we have a lot more texture, a lot more of the body of the cucumber. And I'll just kind of do this a half cucumber at a time. So let's get some ginger. I'm going to use ginger's always tricky. I'm going to use about 1.5 inches or 2 inches of ginger. Bring it over here and knock the skin off of it. Now we're gonna go ahead and prepare these mushrooms. So we'll go ahead and put them into a cold fry pan. We're gonna get some heat on these mushrooms. Not too much heat. And the idea is to really reduce these mushrooms down. We're gonna get the water out of the mushrooms. So we're gonna really kind of shrivel them up and work them down so they're just little tiny bits of flavor. So we hit it with just a little bit of salt because that's gonna help us take the water out. It's up kind of slow, and it's gonna take a little time for these things to kind of start to sweat a little bit. And then you'll see them really start to lose the water more quickly, and they'll start to kind of cook down and get smaller. Just get them started with that salt in there. Start to take a little of that water out. The water will come out, the vinegar flavor or the acid will go in. And the nice thing about light rice vinegar, now I like to cook with our light seasoned rice vinegar, Alani, because we use a little bit less sugar, about half the sugar and about a third less salt than in our full strength seasoned gourmet. So it's a little bit milder, a little bit less sweet. And when you're cooking, that's important because as water goes out, the salt and the sugar can kind of intensify. This one, since we're keeping the temperature low, with light, just right over the top of the mushrooms. I'm going to use a hangiri, which is a Japanese bowl that's used for sushi rice, and I will season our grains just like a sushi chef would season sushi rice in a restaurant. Okay, so now here comes the star of the show. We're going to put the Marukan seasoned gourmet rice vinegar in here. And take that flat bladed utensil and try to get a little bit of Marukan seasoned gourmet sushi vinegar, or what the Japanese call su. Get that coating every little kernel. And there you go. We have the final Marukan ancient grain and cucumber salad with all the good stuff. Nothing but great ingredients in there. All really held together with Marukan. We've got the ancient grains, the farro, the quinoa, the cucumbers, some red peppers, some red onion. It's seasoned perfectly with the Marukan seasoned gourmet rice vinegar and those magic Marukan sauteed mushrooms that we added in there that really gave it the perfect amount of sweetness and saltiness. We really didn't have to add any sugar or salt at the end. It was just perfect the way it was. So very proud of this, very happy. It looks great with the mint over the top, and there you are, ready to serve.
Okay, so here we have the final product. We're gonna go ahead and give it a final taste test. I hope you all enjoyed today's recipe. Thank you, Jon, for joining us and making your dish. Stay tuned for our next episode of Cooking with the Community. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.